Good afternoon from TE Live. Are you a Finnish job seeker interested in the hospitality sector and curious on seasonal work opportunities elsewhere in Europe? Today we will take a look at the opportunities the Netherlands has to offer. And before we start, I would like to remind all of you watching this broadcast that the chat is open and we will go through your questions at the end of this broadcast. But we will first hear about the services of Finnish job seekers wishing to find work elsewhere in Europe. And today in the studio, we have Juris advisor Vuokko Keränen with us. Welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So could you introduce Juris to us? What is Juris all about? What does it have to do with finding work outside of Finland and Europe?
Okay. EURES is the European network of employment services of EU countries, Norway, Iceland, Liechtenstein and Switzerland. And the goal is to promote free movement of workers by helping job seekers to find work and employers to find candidates for their open positions. And we are 1,000 EURES advisors in public and private services, and our tool is EURES Portal, which is a job portal and much more, because there's a lot of information about job mobility and living and working conditions in this area, for example.
Yeah. So you mentioned already a little bit about the services, but could you, describe them or give a little overview? What kind of, services are available for, job seekers specifically?
Yes. I would say the service number one is EURES Portal, because as I told you, it has so much information on job mobility funding, and there is a calendar on online job fairs and other events. There are also, you can register as your job seeker, and then employers and EURES advisors may contact you if they get jobs that matches your profile. And the most important thing, it has all the jobs, and all the countries of this EURES area send their vacancies there. So, for example, if you would like to find work in the Netherlands, you choose the country, and then you will get all the jobs in the Netherlands. And if you use the flagging option, it will show you all the jobs where the employer is looking for workers abroad. And what else? Then, of course, we have our own national database, Työmarkkinatori, Job Market Finland, and you can start your job search also abroad from there, as you can select the country or jobs abroad, and then it will show you what is available there. And other services, I have to mention also TMS, the Targeted Mobility Scheme. This is meant, it's mobility funding in case the job is more than 6 months. And then you can apply for funding for the expenses like removal, language training, and what else? Recognition of qualifications. And further information you can find from this EURES portal. And then last but not least is Emigrants Checklist. There are many things that you have to take care of before you move, and for that you can find Emigrants Checklist at Työmarkkinatori, the job market in Finland. Maastamuuttajalista in Finnish.
Yeah, and all these links will be put on the chat at the end of this broadcast, so you get easy access. So how can all of these services be accessed, like through where or through whom? So I would suspect that it's a Juris advisor, or how does it work?
Well, all these services are available online, and the idea is that you have the information available there. And if you have some further questions and you would like to have personal guidance, you can contact your local employment office or employment area next year. And all these contact details you can also find from the Job Market Finland.
Okay. So do you have any insights on what kind of opportunities are there, available in Europe in general? And, are there any specific sectors that could be especially interesting to Finns?
Okay. So in EURES portal there are over than 3 million jobs available now, and 100,000 of them are flagged. So I believe all the sectors are represented there. But there are employers who contact Finland directly because they want Finnish-speaking workers or They are happy with the previous recruits. Many of these jobs are seasonal work and on hospitality section. And I think it's a good idea to start your job searching now if you would like to find a job for next spring or summertime.
Yeah. So, as we mentioned already, hospitality as one of the sectors, we will actually hear now an interesting example from the Netherlands.
Today we are here at holiday resort the Molenhoek to meet Kim Bliek to hear more about her experience with international candidates. So let's go and find out. Kim, thank you for inviting us. Could you please tell me who you are and where we are now?
Yes, of course. Welcome. I'm Kim Bliek. I'm the owner of holiday resort De Molenhoek in a really beautiful area. It's close by the sea at the coastal area of the Netherlands. Right now we have 6 people working here from abroad. I think the most important thing is that they feel seen and welcome at your park. That you let them by the hand, and especially in the beginning of their time working here. I can imagine when you're from abroad, you come in a country, maybe you've never been there before, you work in a company you never worked before, you don't speak the language. I think it's really important to let people feel like they're at home or at least welcome.
Onboarding is maybe more important for the existing staff than for the new hired international candidates. Can you tell me something about your experience, your opinion on this?
Well, I totally agree about onboarding, and that's important for the staff who's working already at your campsite, because they are so important to make their new colleagues feel at home. We have several important things we do. First, we inform them that there's a new staff members that they are coming, and we ask them to talk English in a coffee break or maybe in a meeting. As soon as the colleagues from abroad are coming in, we talk English to each other.
Could you give me an example of an onboarding activity that you organize for your international candidate?
Yes, of course. This week we went with Victoria and Dominique to a theme park, the Efteling. It's a real famous park here in the Netherlands, and it was their first time to go in a roller coaster, and we had a lot of fun. We did it together with my husband and with Dominique and Victoria. We have a lot of contact with each other, and when we picked them up from the airport, we picked them up ourselves. We always ask, what do you want to do? What do you want to see in the Netherlands? We always take them on one outing. They all have their own chalet where they live in. They have their own bedroom, there's heating, it's like a kitchen. They have their own private home.
How should you describe the cooperation with US?
I think professional. That's an important word, but also wonderful, because it was a great experience to work with Juris. And professional and wonderful.
Very nice conversation. I learned a lot today. But as I'm here at the holiday resort, it's time to relax and enjoy my holiday. So let's go back to the studio.
Next up, we will hear about the services for inbound job seekers in the Netherlands. And online with us are 2 years advisors from the Netherlands, Alrik Mal and Jan-Paul Bos. Welcome.
Hello, and Kitos for having us. Hi. Thank you.
So could you tell us a little bit about what kind of services are available for the job seekers once they enter the Netherlands? So what kind of support is there available?
Yes, thank you. Good question. Well, you heard about the support already when you're in Finland. So that's important to know everything before you move to the Netherlands. Plus, from a public service that we are from the Euros Network, know that we are always here to help, of course, when you have questions or doubts or not really anxious to discuss it with your employer. You can always contact us. Is this normal, or how does things work in the Netherlands? It's really like every question can be relevant, and we are always here also in the Netherlands to help. And we can use the network, of course, also together with our colleagues in Finland.
So about the work or like job opportunities themselves. So which sectors, in your opinion, are the most interesting in the Netherlands for seasonal work? So which sectors carry the most opportunities?
Well, overall, there's a lot of opportunities in the Netherlands for seasonal work. Well, it can be a very rewarding experience to earn money and experience the country. The best opportunities depend on your timing, but also your skills. But I would say the biggest opportunities are within tourism, hospitality, and also agriculture.
And to quote also that the seasonal work is not only like for 2 months. You mentioned already TMS. It could be like 4, 5, 6 months and up. So take into account that seasonal work could be like your first step in the Netherlands, and then the agriculture and hospitality, like mentioned, and also on the Eurus TV that we saw is one of the examples we have for Finnish job seekers.
Yeah, so we've discussed hospitality quite a bit here. So could you tell us a little bit more about the hospitality sector in the Netherlands?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Let me explain a little bit more. We have already like a lot of contacts with employers, of course, and we also discussed already for the summer season, seasonal work. It's actually snowing right now, but one of the tips we have, like, start your search now already for spring. As soon as you know where you want to go and what kind of seasonal job you're looking for, then we're here to help and connect you and your CV and your experience with the employers we have. We have video employers at the coast area. We have also the Dutch islands, a lot of candidates, but also in the capitals and larger cities, we see a large rise also in the tourist sector. So then the employer more anxious to recruit for the summer season candidates from Finland.
Yeah, so well, do you have any kind of tips for people who would be, now be interested in moving to the Netherlands? So, what should one do?
Well, of course, moving to the Netherlands, it can be very exciting, but also rewarding. The best tips we can give you is to look for a job in advance. Preparation is key. Well, luckily for most seasonal jobs, I'd say that the most employers, they offer housing, sometimes even meals, so that's usually included. But I would say preparation is key.
Yeah, preparation, especially like also in Finland, the cost of living can be pretty high. So take into account what are your earnings and what are your expenses. The cost of living. Is the housing also provided? What are the costs of the housing? All the preparation before you go, make clear your understanding of. You can, of course, go to your Eurus advisor in Finland, but also contact us to have, if you have specific questions for the employer. So the first tips, start early. Second, also from what are the options, how does the rules and regulations in the Netherlands. So make sure you know how the contract and how the living, working here works. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Next, we will go through some of the questions that you viewers have sent us. We actually have 2 questions now. So, first question is, how long does the season last? And, well, this is actually 2 questions in one. So, how long does the season last? The summer season, I presume. And is English enough as language skills?
Okay. Well, thank you for the question. The summer season used to be from like June till September maybe, but it starts way earlier now. So it starts from about, I would say, April till maybe even like late October. It gets longer and longer, of course, because of the climate change. And for his second question, is English enough? I think English would be enough for most seasonal jobs. Yeah, almost everybody here speaks English quite well, so English would be enough.
It also depends on what kind of job. If you're in the front office, a third or fourth language is, of course, a privilege, but not mandatory. English is the main language used. And the season, like you already mentioned, it's get longer. It also depends on where you want to go. If you're working on a campsite on the Dutch coast, nobody likes to camp on the coast in the Netherlands after September, I believe. It's 5 to 10 degrees. But for hotels, the season is way longer. That's for hospitality, like mentioned now. But also in other sectors, we see like the employers are trying to recruit and to keep the employee as long as possible. So keep it in mind. Also, what are your plans? Is it for the summer and then go back to school for or study, or is it a possibility to stay longer? Or that could be an interesting step, that the seasonal work is a way to navigate in the Netherlands and to look for other jobs and other options in the Netherlands. We see many candidates coming to the Netherlands, seasonal job, and while they're working and living in the Netherlands, trying to look for other options and the next step in your career. So that could be also interesting to choose for a seasonal job.
Yeah, thank you. And there's another question related to housing. So is housing very expensive for the season if I have to pay for it? So this probably, of course, depends on where, the housing would be or where you would be working. But can you give us some kind of, an estimate or such?
Yeah, it's very difficult to say. Like you mentioned, of course, like the big cities that everybody knows is like Amsterdam or Utrecht. The housing could be quite expensive, which is true. For most seasonal jobs and employers that we work with, they provide housing, and it's for a very reasonable price, I would say. Do you have anything to add, maybe?
Yeah, we do check the pricing, and also keep in mind, if you take care of your own housing, is the rent including the heating and the water? Because that could add up. Like, for instance, if the heating is 200 extra for every month to pay, that could be like a big challenge to see if it still works out financially. It also depends where you're going to live, and of course, if you're going to share. Most employers say you have your own bedroom, but you're going to share the kitchen and the bathroom. If you want to have your own, or you're going with your partner, then of course there are other rental prices and other options there. So yeah, it really depends on your plans when you go to the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for answering these questions. And the chat is still open and will remain open for 10 minutes after this live broadcast has ended. So for the next 10 minutes, since this concludes our broadcast today, thank you, Vuokko.
Thank you.
And thank you, Alrik and Jan Paul, for your time here today. And thank you, viewers, for watching this TE Live broadcast today. Please do give us feedback, as we always strive to develop our service to be even better in the future. The recording of this broadcast can be found, amongst others, at te/live.fi. I wish you a lovely day and see you at the next TE Live. Bye-bye.